Wow, the time has finally come. It's time to start a brand new mock building series. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the SW Bricks and Figs channel, or welcome if this is the first time seeing my face. This is the first episode of building KASHYYYK, the Imperial refinery that we see from Jedi Fallen Order. Now, this is going to be an awesome series. I'm super excited for this. It should be the biggest and best mock that I ever do. Now, of course, this is episode 1. We're going to get some planning done. We're going to get some sort of different models and stuff built, and I'm also going to draw out a few plans as well. I'm going to be talking through everything that you guys have to expect in this series, and everything from the size of the mock to the minifigures that I'm going to be including, and much more. I'm really excited to get into this. It really is going to be one of the best and biggest mocks that I've ever done, and I'm super excited to start it. I really want to push myself as a builder and really sort of challenge myself to get a lot of detail packed into every single section of this build. It's going to be split into 3 main sections, which I'm going to talk more about in a minute, but yeah, let's head straight into the first episode of building KASHYYYK. Okay, so it really wouldn't be an episode 1 without me having a plan. So of course, I've drawn up a plan. You guys know every mock builder draws a small sketch. Even if they're terrible at drawing, they have to draw a small sketch to show exactly what they're thinking for the mock. And of course, it's hard for me to show everything that's in my head to you guys, obviously, because I haven't started building yet or anything like that. You guys have no idea what I want to put in this mock. So of course, I've drawn out a small plan, and I've even built a sort of semi-scale model that I'll talk a little bit more about later on. But yeah, we're going to start with this plan. We're going to go through everything that I've got written down on this piece of paper right here, and we're going to go through every single detail that's going to be included in this mock. Okay, so this is the sheet of paper that I was kind of waving in your face just a second ago. This is the KASHYYYK plan version 1. Now, what you see in this plan is probably not exactly what will happen in the actual mock. Things will probably change. In fact, things will definitely change about this diagram, but I wanted to get a rough sketch of everything that I wanted in the mock down on paper so I could start to plan things out. Now, I just spent about 2.5 hours or so playing the Jedi Fallen Order game through the entire KASHYYYK level, or at least the section with the base, and I played through the whole thing, and then I ran around for a while and tried to decide every important location that I wanted to have in the mock. So we're going to go through a load of different things here. Obviously, you can see I'm not the best drawer in the world. You'll definitely need some explanation as to what some of these things are, but yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to start with what I'm going to start building first. Now, this is the most important part of the mock for me. This is the really thing I'm most excited for first, and then we're going to get into everything else here. But you can see overall it's broken up into base plates here. So you can see these rough lines here are in fact 48 by 48 grade base plates. This isn't exactly size accurate or anything. I don't know how this is scaled, but I think it's going to be a good plan to show you guys what I want to build. So basically, you can see this is the main landing area of the mock. So we can see we have a load of different things in here. We have the tree stump. We have a sort of area of different terrain here, including a rock wall off to the side. If you've played the game, this is where you come in with the 8080 here. You actually see this big tree stump here. So I want to try something cool with that. And this is going to be one of the first areas I work on, probably these 2 base plates here. We have a ramp going up here onto the main landing platform, and we have a smaller landing platform down to the side where the Imperial troop transport is going to be. So I'm really excited to get this done. We're going to have a cool entrance to the base. This is kind of where you land when you first arrive on KASHYYYK, and I'm really excited to build this bit. I think this was kind of the bit that inspired me the most, and then the rest of the base is going to be even cooler off to the side as well. But yeah, you can see basically this is the upper landing pad where we'll have a TIE fighter. Speaking of the TIE fighter, I have had a couple of hauls come in, so I'll show you them later in the episode. But basically, we're going to be building the Brick Vault TIE fighter, which is going to be really, really fun. I can't wait to build that because it looks incredible. And then of course the other vehicle on this pad right here is the Imperial troop transport. Now that's going to be on the lower level, and I already have that built. You can see right here it's a really, really sick model that I definitely need to get around to reviewing because it's really nice. But yeah, basically we're going to have this lower area of terrain, which is going to have some trees, some foliage, a rock wall, and then it will start to slope up into the actual base itself. Now between the base plates right here, you're going to have a wall running along here. So this is going to be the main base wall. So you see this massive wall right here. It's going to be like the actual base itself, and I want to add loads of details in here. It's not the most detailed wall in the world, but I think it looks pretty cool nonetheless. And it's going to sort of back onto the next base plate. Now I'm not sure whether I want to extend this a little bit, because obviously right now in the plan it's taking up around 1 base plate each, or sorry, 2 base plates, 1 base plate deep for this area right here. But I kind of want to push this a little bit further this way potentially, and we'll see. But yeah, we'll get around to that later as we do some more planning and stuff like that, and as we sort of work out how big this is going to be compared with the TIE fighter and compared with the Imperial troop transport and stuff like that. I may end up pushing this a little bit further this way, but yeah, basically then we come through this entrance right here into the internal section section of the base. This is going to be the middle section where we see a few different bits of foliage and stuff like that. We see some stormtroopers and flame troopers fighting a spider. Now this is an area I really wanted to create, and it was a really cool area right here. We're also going to merge it together with this higher walkway up the top here, which is going to include the prison cells and a few other things, including the cool corridors that we see on Kashyyyk in Jedi Fallen Order. Now this is something I definitely wanted to include. The hallways were one of the first things I flagged as being really awesome, and I definitely want to put some great effort into this and have some really cool lighting and stuff like that in these hallways. And then we have the prisons where the Wookiees were kept in Jedi Fallen Order, and you free them and stuff like that. This little hashed off area here is going to be a little walkway. So basically what I'll have is I'll have a little area going up, and then you'll be able to walk along. You'll be able to see a bit more of this as I show you the scale model that I've made for this later on in the video. And then over here we have just sort of like the higher walkway over here where the prisons are going to be located, and this is going to be above all of the different foliage areas. Obviously this will probably come out even further than sort of this in the actual model, but I wasn't sure exactly how far to put it, so I just put it there for now. And this area right here will have different levels and different layers where the different tundra and stuff like that is, maybe some trees and some small areas of foliage, as well as some of the external parts of the base that we see in the game. Now this brings us over to section 3 of the mock, which is going to be where you see these giant vats. Now I'm not sure so far whether I want to have 2 vats or just the one. I'm going to have to work out this, but this will probably be the last area I make, and it will take up the final base plate. And it's basically these giant sap vats that you see where they're actually making and sort of refining the sap from Kashyyyk, and it's going to be really interesting to make these. I've seen some really good models of this in the past, so I definitely will be using them for inspiration, and I'm really excited to try and build these for myself. I want to make them big enough, so I may only end up going with one of them, but I definitely want to have nice detail in them, so I'm not sure which one to go for yet, whether there'll be 1 or whether there'll be 2, but we'll have to see as the series progresses. I want to have areas off to the sides with different sort of like details and stuff like that, and I want to have it so that these can spin and you can actually run across here as you do in the actual level itself. But yeah, that's the overall plan of this mock, guys. I know you probably won't have a great idea of what it's going to look like yet. Obviously it's kind of just a messy drawing at the moment, but I'm going to head over to the scale model that I've built and show you exactly what I'm going to do in more of a 3D aspect. Okay, so now I have the physical model behind us. So this was meant to be a 1:4 scale, but I ended up messing it up slightly, but it still roughly sort of explains what everything's going to be like and where everything's going to be on the model. You can see I have it sort of orientated the same as the paper drawing right now, but you can see I've made it sort of a bit better so you can see more details here. But basically we have this lower area right here with the tree stump over there, the Imperial troop transport is just there, and then we do in fact have this sort of higher area right here, as well as the entrance that will go through into the main base. Then over here we have the sort of higher walkway running around the outside, as you can see here. With this I will have the prisons running along the back there. I kind of forgot to include that on the model, but yeah, definitely will be including that. And then I do have rock work here, but I don't know whether this is actually going to be rock work or whether it's going to be some sort of walls and stuff inside of the actual base. And then we do have the sap vats over on this side as well, so this is going to be interesting. I'm really excited to start building. I'm definitely going to start from left and move all the way to the right, but I want to have it so you can see it from all different angles, and I do want to have this mock being more modular than other mocks that I've made in the past. So I'm definitely going to make it sort of base plate by base plate and have them all interconnecting, and I think this is going to turn out really nicely. So definitely let me know what you think of the initial plan right here. We're going to head into some packages that I've got to go over, and then we're going to sort of do a few different things later on in the video as well, including looking at a couple of minifigures, as well as looking at some stuff I have to do before I can actually start building the mock itself. So let's get straight into the packages. Okay, so we have a few packages here on the table. There's a few things in here that are going to be for Kashyyyk, and there's a few things for other things like the TIE fighter and stuff like that. So let's get straight into the packages. We're only going to skim through this very briefly. This first package will have a load of pieces for the TIE fighter itself. Now this is order number 1 of 4 for the pieces for the actual TIE fighter. I'm really excited to build this. It's a beautiful model, the Brick Vault TIE fighter, and I really can't wait to get this one in the collection. Once I build this, I can really start to scale different areas of the platform and things like that, so it's definitely important to get this one built as soon as possible. Next up we have a small order right here which has a few different pieces that are going to be useful for the mock, a few different detailing pieces, as well as a few different nougat pieces for the vats of sap, and then a few different dark bluish grey pieces as well, which is going to be really useful. This final one is a little bit messy. There's a few loose pieces, so it might look a bit weird on here, but yeah, we're going to try and get them out as delicately as possible and get everything out that's inside of this package. So first of all, in here you'll notice I have a load of these nougat jumper plates. Now these are actually going to be used for a doorway design that I have for the actual entrance to the base, as well as a few different doorways that are going to be scattered around the mock. Now this was actually inspired by an image of a mock that I'll put up on screen right now. It's a really sick mock that Rich Boy J featured in one of his mock review videos. You can see a few different details in here as well, a few different grey pieces, as well as a few different pieces for minifigs and things like that, and I'm really excited to utilize these and get to work using these pieces in the mock. Next we have a load of circular orange pieces. You might be wondering what the heck are these going to be used for? How am I going to get bright orange into a Star Wars mock? Well, these are probably going to be used for a few different pipes and things like that that are going to be running around the mock. I would have wanted to go with nougat or something like that, or dark dark orange, but sadly they didn't have these in that color, so I went for orange, and we'll see how they look. If they look a bit too bright for the mock, I might use something else, but I'm going to spruce these in with a few different areas of different colors and stuff like that to get a nice worn effect to them. It's not going to look brand new like a few of these will, but yeah, hopefully this is going to be really nice, and I can't wait to use those again in the mock. Finally, we have a couple of different pieces here. We have a few of these pieces which are going to be useful as well for detailing, and a few more of these great pieces which are great for different wall designs and different things like that I'm definitely going to get to use in the mock. So yeah, that's a load of pieces that are going to be great for KASHYYYK. I can't wait to start building. I'm really going to start stockpiling pieces now and stuff like that. And of course, I have to get my Coruscant mock destroyed before I can really start this. At the moment, I have two big mocks built already. I have my castle and my Coruscant mock, so I have to get both of those destroyed before we can start going. So definitely stay tuned for some live streams where I'll be destroying the Coruscant mock and stuff like that. That's the main one I have to get destroyed, mainly for the base plates and things like that. But I definitely will start work on KASHYYYK whilst I'm destroying Coruscant, and I think I'll keep the castle built for a while now. I want to enjoy it for a little bit more. But yeah, that's a pretty sick part hole right there. I can't wait to start building, and I think it's going to be a really sick series. So minifigure wise, I had a couple of things I wanted to show you / talk about. Firstly, we have this Scout Trooper Commander. It was inspired by my friend Axie Droid, who made a similar sort of fig, but I adapted it and changed it a tiny bit. It's got really nice printed Firestar Toys arms, as well as a cool baton, as well as a cool waistband right here as well, which was found in the Inferno Squad battle pack. And then of course it has a different torso with the straps, which is from the First Order Heavy Trooper. I really love the way this fig looks. I can't wait to use this in the mock. I think I'll have a couple of these alongside a load of these regular Scout Troopers, which I've also upgraded with the Firestar Toys arms. Now if you're interested, these are actually the Patrol Trooper arms. Firestar don't make an exclusive arm for the Scout Trooper, but they're very similar, so I bought these ones and I think they look really nice. If you do want to pick some of these up for yourself or any of their printed arms, make sure to use my code FSTA3P for 10% off your order. I really can't wait to get these figs in hand and have a full squad of these guys right here. I love this fig and I think they look amazing. Another thing I have to decide before I start this mock is whether to use the newer style Stormtrooper or whether to go with the Rogue One style. Now the new style is actually growing on me a little bit. I definitely think I prefer the old style still. The Rogue One style just has a really nice sort of helmet for me. Obviously the bodies are exactly the same, but I need you guys to help me decide in the comment section down below whether I should use a mixture or whether I should just have one style in there. I'm thinking of siding with the Rogue One ones for now, but again, I haven't made my decision just yet. I'll definitely be making more and more custom figs, both purist as well as buying a few awesome cool custom ones to go in the mock as we go through the series. So make sure you stay tuned for that, because I definitely will be getting some really sick figs in. I've got some Purge Troopers on the way, as well as a few different designs for a Flame Trooper that I'm planning on making in the coming weeks. So I'm really excited for that, and there's definitely going to be a ton of cool Imperial figs in this mock. So let me know what figs you think I should include in the mock, and let me know what you think of the Scout Troopers that I just showed you. Okay, there we go. That is the first episode of building KASHYYYK. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. I really had a ton of fun planning things out and working out where things are going to go. I'm sorry there wasn't much building in this episode. Obviously I built a little template for that one there, but I've been spending a lot of my building time building the rest of my castle, as well as taking apart Coruscant. So I've had a lot of stuff to do right now, but I can now solely focus on building KASHYYYK, and I can't wait to get into further episodes. I promise this is going to be the only one without any actual physical progress. Of course the first episode has to have a lot of planning, so I hope you guys understand exactly what I'm going for with this mock. I'm really excited to get started with it, and I think it's really going to be the best mock I've ever done. I really want to challenge myself, test my building skills, and increase the level of detail in my mocks. I really don't want to have loads of different sort of straight angles and straight faces and sort of regular stuff that you see in a lot of Lego mocks. I really want to improve that in myself, and I want to get to the level where I'm really happy with the stuff I do, and I think that's got to come from taking more time to plan, as well as more time to actually redo and go in and readjust things and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I want to sort of do in this mock, and I want you guys to hold me accountable for that. If you guys see something that you don't like about this mock, if you see like a really rubbish thing that you think I've been lazy on, tell me, and I definitely want to be sort of going back in and adding stuff in there. That might mean that we might have sort of like gaps in episodes where I can't get an episode out every single week, but I want to aim for every Saturday, like I did with Coruscant, as well as other mocks that I've done in the past. I really want to keep this consistent. I love it when I have a sort of regular upload every single week on the channel. I really think it sort of brings you guys back, and you guys know what to expect every single week. But just in case you're not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like on today's video if you're excited for this series. I'm super excited. I can't wait to get into it. I hope you guys are feeling the same way. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.